Hey, welcome back. Yeah, I'm just sad that this game is so short, because it's perfect for me. I'm already making the moon. I guess I could probably squeeze another week out of this, but then that's it. I'll have to find something else. I was going to talk about, finally, I finished Anna Karenina, so this will be last week. And I don't know what to do because I'm not commuting to work anymore. So I don't know when I'm going to read my books anymore. That's when I read my books, is on the way home from work. I don't do that anymore. I don't know what I'm going to read next anyway. I would probably like War and Peace. I don't know. I don't know what it's about at all. But I finished Anna Karenina, and I'm going to spoil it. There's a big spoiler at the end. So yeah, you probably can't watch this if you don't want Anna Karenina spoiled, but whatever. So I like the book. This isn't going to be like a book review or a book criticism or whatever. I don't know anything about literary whatevers, but I liked it. I talked about why I liked it, just like how Tolstoy writes, I liked it. It wasn't as Game of Thronesy as I thought it would be. I thought there would be more characters. There's two main characters, Anna and Levin. And spoiler, at the end, Anna dies. She kills herself. I really like probably the most interesting description of a death that I've never read anything, but I kind of want to read through that again. How he describes Anna dying, like the light going out of her life, is interesting and kind of terrifying. So what happens in the book is Anna Karenina has an affair with this guy named Vronsky, and then the book happens over the course of like 10 years, and over time Anna feels like Vronsky doesn't love her anymore, and then they have this argument, and Anna goes to a train to kill herself because she's like thinking about like, oh, this is gonna make him really angry. That'll show him. If I kill myself, that'll show him. But it's done in a really cool way. I like the whole thing. So Anna kills herself. What was the note? I don't know. Here's my most literary criticism note that I thought of, but like if I was in school and I had to think of something. It's nice that I don't, and I can just enjoy the book and not have to be like, what were the major themes? I know some people like doing that, and I guess I could like doing that too sometimes, but not this time. Levin and Anna both search for meaning. Anna found it in love, and when it was gone, she became evil. Levin realized he never needed it, and the more he thought about it, the further he got from the answer. So I guess I'm thinking Tolstoy's trying to make us kind of compare Anna and Levin, and it's pretty interesting because there's 8 parts in the book. Anna dies at the end of the 7th part, and then there's still the 8th part left, and it's not really, some people are kind of sad that she's dead, but it's more just about Levin and his marriage with Kitty. and his Kitty is religious, but Levin isn't. And so a big part of the 8th part of the book is Levin being like, okay, religion, like, what do I really think about this? And Levin comes to the conclusion that Levin realized he never needed meaning, and the more he thought about it, the further he got from an answer. It's pretty interesting because after reading A Confession, Levin pretty much just basically says what Tolstoy thinks about religion at the end of the book. So Levin's probably just Tolstoy. Which is weird because I feel pretty, like, I relate a lot to Levin too, so. And me and Tolstoy were pretty similar, except I'm not Russian and I wasn't born in the 1800s, and I'm not a famous writer. But we both grew up in Christianity, so that's a similarity. I liked the idea that Anna, in this book, put too much... It's possible, and this is kind of a common idea that you hear in stories sometimes about, like, you can put too much, you can love too much, and you could put too much... What's the word? You could put too much... of yourself, like your meaning, into love. You can make it too big a part of your life. Especially romantic love, where you're like... because romantic love is a different feeling, I'm sure. I mean, I never felt it, but... like, it feels really nice, and I guess the idea of the book is, like, Anna was just chasing that feeling, and once she never felt it, she felt like there was no meaning in her life anymore. Because she loved her husband, Karenin, but then she met this other guy, and then she loved him, so she left her husband, but then that love went away. And so she's like, okay, I mean, I've ruined my entire life for this guy, and now he doesn't even love me, so now what's the point? I'll just kill myself. But if she didn't value... not value, but... kind of. I mean, if you didn't value love so much, romantic love, then she probably wouldn't have gotten married to Karenin in the first place. Because maybe the only reason she married him was because of love. It's not a good... love isn't a good enough reason to marry somebody. Romantic love. Because that goes away. There's a song called Love Is Not Enough, so that's where I got that idea from. From Above and Beyond, they wrote a song called Love Is Not Enough. And it's not. It's hard because we don't have the words for, like, a romantic love is different. But, like, if you love, like, I love my parents, that's enough for me to always, like, care about my parents. But obviously I don't have romantic love for my parents. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but... but Levin doesn't kill himself because he realizes that he has the same problems with Kitty. He argues with her, and he worries that he doesn't love her or whatever, or that she doesn't love him. But he doesn't kill himself. He has this whole epiphany in the 8th part of the book, where he's like, I understand religion now, and I didn't really follow all of it, so that's why I'm kind of struggling now, but... had to sum up the book, it's about two people searching for meaning and one person making a mistake in their search and one person figuring it out. Levin figures it out, and Anna doesn't. She thinks she knows what the meaning is, and when it's gone, she has nothing left, so she kills herself. But Levin doesn't. I guess what Levin and what Tolstoy say is like, you shouldn't put meaning into any one thing. Life is kind of, this is my thought though. Like, life is kind of meaningless, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't live. I don't know. Because Levin never comes out and says like, oh, my meaning is my dog or whatever. I don't know. And that's the meaning of life. The end. He's just like, there is no meaning. But that's okay. I don't know. Maybe that's more just me putting my spin on it. And Levin had a quote that I liked. Where was it? Because Levin has a son. And when he has a son, it's exciting and it's nice. It feels good, but it's also terrifying. Because Levin describes his son as a liability for pain, which is kind of an interesting way to put it, in a kind of a way that I've felt. I'm sure I would feel that way too if I had a kid. What did I do? Now I gotta take care of this thing, and I gotta make sure he's okay. And if I don't, it's my fault, and I'm a bad person. My life was so easy before. I only had to care about myself. And even if bad things happen to me, who cares? Because it's only affecting me. But now, if something bad happens to me, it's bad for my kid. And if something bad happens to my kid, it's bad for him too, which is bad for me, because I'm in charge of him. So it's a whole thing. Okay, so I think that's it for today, and I'm going to find the quote that I liked about Anna dying. Okay, I'm just going to read it from Spark Notes. Summary. Where's the actual full text? Chapter 7. It's the end of chapter 7. Okay, here we go. The last chapter. This is Anna Karenina, chapter 7, as read by Anthony. The last paragraph. She tried to fling herself below the wheels of the first carriage as it reached her, but the red bag which she tried to drop out of her hand delayed her, and she was too late. She missed the moment. She had to wait for the next carriage. A feeling such as she had known when about to take the first plunge in bathing came upon her, and she crossed herself. A familiar gesture brought back into her soul a whole series of girlish and childish memories. And suddenly the darkness that had covered everything for her was torn apart, and life rose up before her for an instant with all its bright past joys. But she did not take her eyes off from the wheels of the second carriage, and exactly at the moment when the space between the wheels came opposite her, she dropped the red bag, and drawing her head back into her shoulders, she fell on her hands under the carriage, and lightly, as though she would raise again at once, dropped onto her knees. And at that same instant, she was terror-stricken at what she was doing. Where am I? What am I doing? What for? She tried to get up. to drop backwards, but something huge and merciless struck her on her head, and she rolled her on her back. "Lord, forgive me all," she said, feeling it impossible to struggle. The peasant, muttering something, was working at the iron above her, and the light by which she had read the book filled with troubles. And the light by which she had read the book filled with troubles, falsehood, sorrows, and evil flared up more brightly than ever before, lighted up for her all that had been in darkness, flickered, began to grow dim, and was quenched forever. I'm not good at reading, but I don't know. What else is there to say except that's like the most interesting account of death I've ever read, and how you can get like in Anna's mind about like the thing that took her away from the darkness was she was going to kill herself, but then she didn't, and then she like reminded herself of being happy as a kid, and she's like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then it was too late. Filled with troubles, falsehoods, sorrows, and evil, flared up more brightly than ever before, lighted up for her all that had been in darkness, flickered, began to grow dim, and was quenched forever. And that's what it's like to die. That's what Tolstoy says. It's pretty cool. Anyway, see you tomorrow.